What's going on, you guys? What's going on? What is going on, you guys? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What is going on, y'all? What's going on this gloomy? Well, it's not really that gloomy anymore, but it's been raining for most of the day here in the Atlanta area. It's been raining most of the damn day, but the sun that came out just a little bit, so we're on to other pastures at this particular point in time. So you know what I'm saying? Grateful for the sun being out, grateful for every damn thing else, honey. I really am. However, you guys, thank you guys for tuning in today. We got a couple of things that we want to talk about today. We got a couple of things that I want to discuss today, and I'm ready to discuss them, honey. All right. Now, before we get into anything today, let me inform you guys that I know that I've been running my mouth for a while now, especially about all of the things that I intend on doing this year. And remember when I told you guys that I intend on doing a lot of music content this year and things of that nature, and how I want to go after interviews with music artists and stuff like that? Well, I am in the process of getting an interview with a music artist right now as we speak. I talked to them in the DMs this morning. They are down to do the interview, and they sent me to their management. So I had to email their management earlier today. And I don't know if they responded to me or not, because I'm not looking at it right now because I'm doing this live. But I would definitely be checking my email after this is over so I can see if they responded and if we really got a solid date to do this interview. So yes, I am definitely going to be interviewing a music artist that some of us may know. They wasn't like the biggest artist in the world, but a lot of us know them for at least one or two records, and I still listen to their album today. Like, I literally still listen to their album now. So I'm very excited about this particular interview. So by me being able to get this one, it's making me very excited about getting other interviews that I really want to get, if you get my drift. You feel what I'm saying? So, no, it's not Tevin Campbell. I wish it was, but it's not him right now. I ain't made it to the Tevin Campbell part of it all yet. I ain't made it there yet, but I'm definitely hoping that I do. All right. What else is going on? It's something else that I wanted to get into before we get into today's live. Since Kendra brought it up, yes, the Scene ATL is returning on next Thursday, which is my 37th birthday. So it's gonna be a pretty heavy episode. A little bit. It's gonna be a little heavy because of the things that I reveal about myself on this particular episode. So me and Bendo are both very pivotal to this episode because I reveal some things on this episode, and so does he. So we're very much so pivotal to episode 5. And it's on my birthday, and I was like, we will be releasing this episode on my birthday. Like, I got to sit here and watch me talk about my trauma on my birthday. But it is what it is, though. I'll be watching before me and my friends go out to eat and stuff like that. But however, I'll be celebrating my birthday over this weekend. But that's the day of my birthday, so I definitely be trying to do something the day of my birthday, if you get what I mean. Okay. Did I watch the Miss Pat show? Absolutely, I did. That's why my bed looking like that. I was laying in the bed watching it just a minute ago, child. So yes, I definitely was watching the Miss Pat show, honey. Definitely. But it's 38 of you guys up in here so far, and y'all already know the rules to the game right now is, engagement. So if I got 38 people watching today, then I would definitely need 38 people to comment on the video. Right now, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Now, y'all know y'all got to light this chat up with nothing but flames. Y'all know that, right? So go ahead and light this chat up with flames. I need everybody that's here to put nothing but the flame emojis in here, because we got a whole lot of things to talk about. We got a plateau of subjects that we need to get into today. Okay. Yes. Hold on. Let me see. Go ahead and light this chat up. I don't see nothing but two people lighting it up. Let's light it up real quick. Let's light it up. I don't need to see nothing but flames. That's it. I don't need to see nothing but flames. There's 51 of y'all up in here so far. Let's light this up. We going into the 6-minute mark. Y'all know. There we go. There we go. Light it up, y'all. Light it up. Light it up. Light it up. Light it up. All right, y'all. So it's 48 of y'all up in here. Y'all know the goal for every live that we do is to hit 100 people and things like that. So hopefully we get to that goal today. But like I said, if we don't, it's fine, because you know people do watch the replay, but we're halfway there because we got 50 people up in here. So let's go ahead and get into the very first topic of the day, and let's talk about Mr. Cam Newton. You know, I don't really give a fuck about Cam Newton like that. He really ain't out there fine to me for him to be acting the way he do, and I hate his hair. I really do. I do not like his hair at all. I really don't like his hair at all, and I don't really like his attitude either. But we're gonna go ahead and get into what we were what he was talking about the other day, because that's one of the things that I've been wanting to talk about. Now, apparently on his podcast, he was talking to somebody, and he says that it's impossible for him to have platonic relationships with good-looking women. He don't have no attractive women that he cool with, that he don't have plans on stabbing. Okay, let's go ahead and get into that. And then, of course, y'all know I'll be right back with my opinions. But like I said, it's 58 of y'all up in here. So let's engage today. 58 people watching. Let's have 58 people in the comments. Team Scotty, Scotty Gang, make the people feel special. For those of you that come in all the time, all my moderators from Harold to Tracy to Kendra to the Jail Slayer to Sharice, Catherine, make everybody feel comfortable in this chat so they can engage, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Let's listen in on what he got to say. Oops.
With the woman?
Yeah.
No.
Is that by choice?
I'm not about to be around no woman platonically. Listen.
We got to unpack this, Cam. Why?
Because I'm not about to play them type of games.
Is it self-control?
Call it what you want.
I'm asking.
Call it. It may be self-control.
I'm asking.
If she fine, I'm not about to have her around playing like I don't think that she's attractive.
Is it possible to think someone's attractive and still behave yourself?
Yes.
Do you have control of them thoughts?
Yes. But I'm not about to play them games.
What game is it?
The game of saying, hey, we're not about to be friends. I don't have good-looking women that's friends around me.
So
no.
Just all the. Do you have any ugly ones? I gotta ask.
I don't even have women friends, bro. Respectfully.
Why?
I don't.
And I understand you saying you're not gonna play this game, but Cam, you're smart. You have any platonic relationships in your life right now?
With the woman?
Yeah.
No.
And I'm gonna need you to go deeper than that.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's a.
I know me.
You know you. Okay.
I know me.
And what that mean?
That means if I'm around a woman long enough, I'm going to find something good in her that attracts me.
Okay, and when you're attractive, what then happens? When you're attracted, what then happens?
Sex.
Oh, God damn, Cam. Cam, this is a bigger issue than I thought we had.
So understanding that I know what's to come from a platonic situation, I don't even play. No, I don't do that. Baby, you too fine for me. We're not doing that.
Interesting.
No.
So, okay. If I take the word friendship off of the table, do you have platonic relationships in your life that involve women?
I just told you, I don't have no attractive woman that I'm cool with that I do not have plans on stabbing.
Dang, and I'm gonna need you to go deeper than that.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay, so Cam's 106 in Sports co-host said, well, damn, this is awkward. Someone said, so essentially it's either Cam doesn't think you're fine or he got you in a sniper scope waiting to take his shot. And then Ashley Nicole Moss said, I thought we were friends. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, let's talk about it. I think that Cam Newton is a dumbass bastard for saying that, because it's like, you sitting up here saying that you could never have any female friends that you find to be attractive or that you find to be beautiful. So therefore, if you friends with a woman, that means that woman is not attractive. That means that woman is not desirable. You can only be friends with a woman that's not desirable. That doesn't make any sense to me. So everybody in my friend group is attractive. Jamar is attractive. Tramel is fine as fuck. Carl is fine as fuck. You know what I'm saying? DJ is attractive. Like, all my friends are fine. Jamar fine, DJ fine, Carl fine, Tremel fine. All my friends are fine, in my opinion. So does that mean I don't need to be friends with them because I think that they're attractive? So does that mean that whenever I'm around any of my homeboys, that means I want to fuck on them? Even my straight friends, a lot of my straight friends are fine to me. A lot of them are attractive. A lot of them are like, if I was gay and if I wasn't in a relationship, I probably would stab one of them. That's just what it is, if that was the case. So, but because I have self-control and I know these niggas ain't gay, so yeah, I'm not gonna fuck them. So you mean to tell me that you don't have any control over your hormones or anything else about you, that you cannot be friends with a woman that is looked at as attractive, as a woman that's looked at as wanted, a woman that's looked at as, if we weren't friends, then I'd be, doing whatever. I just feel like that's some bullshit. But I always have felt like Cam Newton is always on the side of wrong all the time. And I always feel like Cam Newton is just a misogynistic piece of shit. You feel what I'm saying? The fact that you're sitting up here saying that you couldn't be friends with a woman, you can't have no attractive women around you because you want to fuck them. So that means that you a hoe, basically. That means that you a hoe, and there's nothing that you can do to control your whoredom, basically. Because you a hoe. That's why you can't control yourself around a beautiful woman, because you a thirsty ass bitch. That's basically what you're saying. Because nothing that you're saying is making any sense. And the fact that you try to use this idiotic statement and really think that you're making fucking sense is really ridiculous to me. And the fact that there's people in the comments saying, well, at least he was honest. I don't give a fuck how honest he was. He sounds stupid. So yeah, he might be honest, but he one stupid motherfucker. And I cannot give anybody no credit for being honest when they sound dumb as fuck. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being real with you. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't sit up there and make any excuses for a motherfucker just because they being honest, and their honesty ain't really shit, to be honest with you. Like, he sounds thirsty as hell. Like, you mean to tell me that you can't be friends with somebody just because you find them attractive? So what are you saying? Are you saying that the women that you may find attractive, that you may decide to be friends with, that means that they want to fuck you too? Sometimes women don't want to fuck their male friends. Sometimes I'm around so many. Well, I'm not now because I'm in Atlanta, but back home, a lot of my friends are women, right? Sometimes they really don't want to. They really don't be wanting to fuck you niggas. They just want to be your friend. They just need a male figure in their life to be like a big brother to them, because they probably didn't have one. And a lot of y'all can't be friends with them because y'all so thirsty for pussy that y'all can't see the difference between what's a friend and what's not. And I be having to school a lot of my straight friends back home about that, because I'm like, just because they're a woman don't mean you gotta fuck them. Like, they want to be friends with you. They look at you as a friend. They look at you like a brother. They don't want to give you no pussy. They don't. So stop trying to get it, because they're not going to give it to you. And of course, because I'm gay, sometimes they be looking at me like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But then when everything I said comes into fruition, then they look at me like, nigga, why you didn't tell me? Bitch, I did tell you. But you want to use this whole you gay, so you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And this is what I mean by a lot of you niggas don't need no motherfucking podcast, Mike. A lot of y'all don't. And sometimes I really hate that people get on here and be like, oh, all you niggas don't need no podcast. Podcast ain't for everybody. Because clearly, with me being on YouTube, that's clearly a podcast situation, right? But some niggas really don't need no podcasting, Mike. Niggas like Cam Newton don't need one. Niggas like Joe Budden don't need one. You got a lot of people that really deserve to have a mic, that really deserve to have their voices heard. And we get motherfuckers like Cam Newton, and we get people like Joe Budden in the Bopsy family, because they all sound dumb. Even though what Mark's name is, Mark is over there, and he's very intelligent, but whenever he gets around Joe Budden and his crew, it's like he the intelligence goes down when he's around the motherfuckers. I don't know why, but I just don't be liking to hear Mark Lamont. That's his name, Mark Lamont. He just sounds ignorant as fuck when he around them, but he's intelligent as hell to me at the same time. But I don't know. It is what it is. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one, because I could be on this shit all day and all night. So let's talk about this stupid motherfucker here. And that is Kim Burrell, you know, one of the greatest voices of gospel. You know, she makes all these, you know, she has an anointing voice, but she has stupid values about herself, and she's homophobic in my opinion. That's just what I got to say about her. Now, apparently, Kim Burrell did an interview with somebody on a red carpet. I think it was for Mariah Carey's tribute, and she spoke on R. Kelly and Diddy. And she says that she says that Diddy and R. Kelly are her brothers, and that we should forgive them. Let's go ahead and get into what this nutcase had to say.
Diddy and Kelly, who are being stars in front of the world, they may have their details and whatever the news or whatever may reveal. They're my brothers.
What are some things that like you continue to want to unlearn for yourself, and things that you may want others to unlearn as well?
How to remember the bad. I unlearn how to remember what I have considered to be bad, especially about myself, and to correct it under the light of God, to see how He feels about that. And then hopefully people will learn how to forgive fast. What has really put me there, and if I can just be transparent, in the world of music, while they're being stars, people like Diddy and Kelly, who are being stars in front of the world, they may have their details and whatever the news or whatever may reveal. They're my brothers before all of that happens. And I don't know how to detach from my love for them and waiting for a better day. I don't wish to see any punishment continue, especially when a person has already, dealt with the repercussions thereof. I'm not the law. I'm just saying that I want people to unlearn how to remember a bad thing over and over and over again. To remember that when they have committed what has been considered bad, maybe they call it bad or somebody else did, they realize that they're better than that. And I just want the world to remember that people are remembering their bad to live out of it. Who wants to stay in that place all the time? But I've learned how to just kind of embrace it all in one big swing and not judge how people judge me. I have a new saying, and hopefully others will kind of coin it a bit. Okay. It's don't bother hating me because I already love you.
Now I gotta cuss out the church lady. This is why I don't take Christians seriously. This is why I don't take them seriously. Because a Christian would sit and listen. If there's any Christians watching me right now, I promise you, I don't mean no harm. I promise you, I don't mean no harm, no foul, no nothing. I promise you, I don't mean no harm at all. But when I tell you, sometimes Christians would sit up here and blast a nigga for being gay and say all kinds of shit, abomination, all this. But another nigga can piss on children. Another nigga can have sexual misconduct with adolescents. Another nigga can abuse women. Another nigga can abuse even men too. And they will find any way to forgive them for those sins. We can forgive R. Kelly for having a whole harem of women and teenage girls and making them and basically pimping them out. We can forgive that all day. We can forgive R. Kelly for fucking a 14-year-old girl and pissing in her face on camera. We can forgive that all day. We can forgive Diddy for putting his hands on Cassie, for making her indulge in freak offs and, violating men and all that other stuff. We gotta forgive that. But a motherfucker like me is gonna always be a goddamn abomination. It goes right back to when you're in a Christian family and you come out as gay or homosexual and everybody gives you blowback. But better yet, Uncle Chester, the molester, can continuously sit at the Thanksgiving table every goddamn year and be around the same child that he put his hands on and molested and raped. And that is okay. I don't understand that. Why is it that we got to forgive motherfuckers like that? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? It's not up to me to forgive a motherfucking thing, okay? What about, and then when you say stuff like that, what are you saying to the people that they victimize? Like, what are you telling the girls that were victimized by R. Kelly? What are you telling people like Cassie who was victimized by Diddy? Like, what are you telling them? Are you telling them that the things that they went through really don't matter? Are you telling them that the things that they went through really didn't mean anything and they can get past it and they can do this and they can do that? And, you know, we got to forgive them and stop looking at the same bad thing and who wants to live in a horrible place forever and all of that. Don't you know that the people that R. Kelly, the people that Sean Diddy Combs violated and abused and did all kinds of heinous ass shit to, don't you know that those people are going to always remember that shit? Don't you know that they're going to always be in a bad place because of the bullshit that they did to them? Do you not realize that? You talking about we shouldn't be in a bad place forever. These motherfuckers violated people who are going to forever be in a bad place. Let's be for real. But you're supposed to be a Christian woman with Christian values and all of those things. Kim Burrell, shut the fuck up. Because you're always saying something stupid. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up. This is why I don't take Christians seriously at all. Because you pick and choose what you're supposed to be doing like it's the goddamn, like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, let's be for real. And somebody might be mad at me for saying it, but I promise you, I righteously don't give a fuck about anybody being upset about what the fuck I'm saying, because what the fuck I'm saying is the goddamn truth. I don't care about nobody being mad. That's why I don't take Christians seriously. And it's not everybody. Everybody not like that. Yolanda Adams, open up my heart, my heart, my heart. She showed us that she's not like that. But this motherfucker right here, basically telling me that we need to forget, basically protecting these niggas. The same niggas that wouldn't protect them if they had the opportunity to do so. Are you not reading Reshona Landfair's book? The things that this man did to her and the people around her? What about the things that he did to Aaliyah? What about the things that he did to Tiffany Hawkins? What about the things he did to Javante Cunningham? What about the things he did to Azrael Clary? What about the things what about the things he did to all these different people? What about all the things that Diddy did to Cassie? What about all these different things he did to Kid Cudi and blowed up his car and all of those things that he allegedly did? What about those things? But y'all so quick to, those are my brothers, those are my brothers, those are my brothers. Girl, fuck you. And everything you stand for. And you don't stand for too much. That's why those are your damn, philosophies on life. Kim, shut up. Shut up. Because no one gives a fuck about what you're talking about. I promise you, Kim, no one gives a fuck about what you're talking about, and I need for you to know that. Now, I know I screamed and twisted and shouted and every damn thing else, so don't judge me. Please don't. Don't judge me at all. But I'm just telling y'all the goddamn truth, the God honest truth. Y'all know I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all know I'm telling y'all the truth. Come on now. When Kim started saying that bullshit, I'm like, girl, please. They tell victims to get all the time. Like, even right now with Reshona coming out with this book, do you not see the comments? People telling the money went low. The money been low. The money been low. The fuck? But anyway, we're going to move on to the next topic. That's all I got for Kim flop rail, child. Let's go ahead and get into Sherri Sheppard. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but y'all should know by now. If you don't know by now, you will never know me, okay? Now, Sherri Sheppard's daytime talk show is canceled after 4 seasons. And to be honest, I hate that for her. I hate that for her. I hate it for her. I do. I I know a lot of people were laughing at the fact that this show was canceled. They were basically saying that, well, justice for Wendy. Let me tell y'all something. Wendy, Sherri Sheppard don't have shit to do with what happened to Wendy. The show, Wendy Williams is gonna lose that show regardless. She too sick to do a damn talk show. So the fact that some of y'all are just out here, you know, like salivating over somebody else's downfall is crazy. This is a black woman doing a talk show. It ain't that many out there. So why y'all doing her like that? Sherri actually had a good show. Now, I don't really watch talk shows like that unless it's the Marva show. I don't really watch talk shows like that unless it's Paternity Court. I don't really watch talk shows like that unless it's Karamo or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? But I would watch Sherri when one of my favorites would be on there. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's when I watch Sherri. But Sherri did well as a talk show host. I really liked that for her. I actually liked her show more than I like Jennifer Hudson's talk show. Because all Jennifer do is sit there and sing with folks all day. And I could go without hearing her sing, to be honest. I can. But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. All I'm saying is, why y'all sitting up here salivating over this? Like, why y'all happy that this lady lost her job? Huh? Because Wendy Williams gone? She was gonna lose it either way. So I don't even get it. Okay. But not only that, Kelly Clarkson's show was gone too. Now, y'all know I ain't never watched Kelly Clarkson, never intended on watching Kelly Clarkson. What happened to Miss Independent? You know, but you know, my heart goes out to her. But Lonnie Love came out and she said this. She said Sherri should have been given the courtesy of announcing her shows in instead of an article announcing it, just like Kelly got to announce her shows in. It's not like The Real, which was a panel show, but this was a solo hosted show, or the production company could have at least made a joint announcement as a producer and host. Seeing cancel stamped all over your picture is depressing, especially when the show is having good ratings. Only onward and upward from this at Sherri Sheppard. And my thing is this. I agree with Lonnie. I do. I agree with Lonnie Love. I do. I agree with her all the way with that. I do. Because it got to be fucked up to not be able to announce the fact that your show was gone, and you got to sit up here and look at these articles, and everybody, you know, is basically, you know, going up for the fact that you done lost your job, and oh my God, they handled Wendy wrong, or Wendy didn't get to announce her show leaving, or whatever. And it's you know, it's like I don't understand why we gotta shun Sherri over what happened with Wendy. Because what happened, Sherri never would have been there if Wendy didn't get sick. Like she came there, she did her job well, she got paid, and they gave her own show. Wendy was never coming back. And as y'all can see, years later, Wendy's still not back. She ain't never coming back. So we might as well get over that. Wasn't she supposed to do a podcast? Where the fuck that's at? I'm just saying. And it looks like daytime TV is dying. Like, a lot of talk shows are no longer around. Like, Kelly Clarkson is gone. You know, now Sherri's show is gone. It seems like the only show that's still standing tall on the daytime circuit is The View. And I don't think they're going to ever get rid of The View at all. And I ain't mad at it because I still like The View. You know, I live for Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar. I live for them. But everybody works. And everybody probably watch, you know, their talk shows on Hulu and things like that. But I do feel like daytime TV is dying off. It's, you know, the daytime talk show is not what it used to be. And it's unfortunate that people are losing their jobs. But I do feel like as years go on, The View is still going. And I know that The View been on since I was a little boy. I think The View came out in 97 or something like that. And if it came out in 97, that means my ass was 8 years old, and bitch, here I go about to be 37 next Thursday. So go figure. But yeah, it's been out for it's been going on for a long time. But I think that shit, and then the fact that I heard that Sherri Sheppard had high ratings and they still canceled the show, what gives? Why would you cancel the show? But in this day and age, podcasts are out. Those are the new talk shows. You know, people like myself, we're the new talk shows. You feel what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it is going on, and I really don't know what it's gonna be like. But you know, to each his own. Shout out to Sherri Sheppard or whatever. I'm pretty sure she can get another gig. So let's go ahead and get into the next story that I got, and that is NBA YoungBoy. His baby mom, I think her name is Jania Michelle. I think that's her name. She did a video with her son on, I think it was Instagram maybe, and she was asking her son a question, and her son admitted that he was getting bullied at school and he stayed quiet about the bullying because he thought his mom would do something to the kids. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all.
Tell me something that you've never told me before. What would it be?
People be mean to me sometimes at school. What?
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
So why you never told me that before?
I didn't want you to come out there and try. That's rude. Then
You don't want me to go up there and what?
And
Hit them?
yeah,
I'm not gonna hit them.
what are you gonna do then?
You don't have to let them be mean to you, baby.
Okay.
Okay, so
Is it today?
whoever is at my son's school being mean to him, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm about to dig deeper into this conversation, and I'll give y'all an update in the next video because this is not acceptable. Love you guys. See y'all later. We're about to finish our food. Mwah. Love y'all. Bye.
I buried my chicken.
Bye.
So y'all know that I had to talk about this, right? This wasn't even supposed to be on the docket or nothing like that. But I had to talk about this. Y'all know I had to, due to my own experience. It's never easy to tell your parents that you're being bullied. It's never easy. It's never easy to tell your parents that. You don't really know how they're going to react. You don't know if they're going to be mad at you. You don't know if they're going to come up to the school. And sometimes when they do come up to the school, because that's what they're supposed to do as parents, they're supposed to come up to the school and talk to the principal, talk to the teachers. And sometimes when they do that, it makes the bullying worse. So sometimes you don't even tell your mother or your father about it, because if you do, it's going to make it worse. Like, this is one of those stories where it's a little traumatic for me, and I have to like dig into my past. But I remember when I was growing up and I was in school, and I think my bullying was severe by the 4th grade. Like, it was severe. 4th and 5th grade, it was severe. But the whole I want to off myself started when I was in the 7th grade, because that's when it really got severe. But I remember telling my mom about it because she noticed that my grades were slipping. When you got a kid that was a principal list student, an honor roll student, then they didn't drop down to making all B's, and then they making C's, and then they drop it to D's, even an F. She knew something was wrong, and she asked me what is wrong with me, and I said, I'm getting picked on every day. I'm getting picked on every day. I'm getting called gay. I'm getting called a faggot. I'm getting called all these different things, or they're hitting me, or I'm getting chocolate milk thrown in my face, or I'm getting held down and pinned down to be punched. You know, things like that was happening to me. And my mother came up to the school. I remember her coming up to the school, talking to the principal, coming up to the school, talking to the teachers and shit. And then, you know, when that happened, it only made the bullying worse, because now you look like a tattletale and you can't defend yourself. So now it's like I tell my mom, now she goes up to the school. Now it's like, now they're really gonna fuck with me now. And it even gotten to the point to where it was like, not only was I getting hit physically and had chocolate milk being thrown at me, some of the boys that was bullying me, some of them, when I would go to the bathroom by myself, I'd be at a urinal, and sometimes they'll come up behind me and start humping me from behind, and they'll do it in front of a group of guys and embarrass me. And it was like, wow. I didn't like going to the bathroom alone sometimes because I knew it's like it's like they could smell me coming to the bathroom, or I use a urinal, and then I turn around to go wash my hands, and then this big ass dude that played football, I turned around and I walked dead smack into him, and I'm trying to get away from it. He got me in this big bear hug and grabbing me on the ass and stuff. It was just like weird ass stuff, and it was just like it was more so of a control thing because they knew that they could do that to me, and then they knew I wasn't gonna do shit back to them. It's just certain shit like that. So when I see kids talk about being bullied and how they don't know how to tell their parents, I 100% understand where they're coming from, and I get it. And I always hear people, and it irks me so bad when I hear people say, well, why don't you tell the teacher? Teachers don't give a fuck. Teachers don't give a fuck. Let's be real. Teachers don't care. Sometimes the teachers was down with the bullying themselves. Let's be real about this shit. Let's be real about it. They didn't care. They was there for a check. They didn't really give a fuck about none of us, to be honest. They didn't give a fuck about us. I would sit there and beg a teacher to tell a kid to leave me alone. They wouldn't do nothing. So I would be at school tormented all the time. So it's just like, I can only imagine what that little boy is probably going through right now. So it really does something to me when I hear a kid talk about being bullied and how they're being picked on, and they don't know why they're being picked on, and they don't understand why they're being picked on, and they're just a kid, and they want to have friends, and they scared to tell their parents because they feel like their parents are going to overreact. They're going to come up there and show the fuck out, which 9 times out of 10 they probably are, and they probably should, but sometimes it makes it worse. And and then you hear stories about kids, and then you wonder why kids be blowing up schools and shit, because y'all don't do shit about it. When is enough enough? I done told y'all they won't leave me alone. Why y'all not suspending them? Why y'all not putting them in ISS somewhere away from me? Why are you allowing them to do it? Then when I come to school with my mama kitchen knife in my book bag, then you looking at me crazy. But I told y'all this motherfucker won't leave me alone. I can only imagine what that little boy going through. I can only imagine. Like, it's crazy. One of the people that actually bullied me just died recently, and I was just looking at my social media, and I was seeing people like just giving them like so much, acclaim and how great of a person they were, and I'm just sitting here like, they were a good person. That's what you call a good person? Okay. All right. I'm sitting up here feeling like shit because I don't even see what the fuck they even talking about. But it's just like, girl, whatever. But I'm finding myself getting a little emotional over this story, so I don't want to stay on this too long. But hopefully, Jania or Janiyah, however you pronounce her name, now that she knows what her kid is going through, hopefully she finds a way to rectify the situation, and then, you know what I'm saying, they could probably, deal with it the best way they know how. So we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is Maga Minaj. So she went and did an interview with Katie Miller, and she clarifies what she was talking about when it came down to trans people. So let's go ahead and get into that. and I'll be right back. Let's get into it, y'all.
Some of the policies in California, given you've spent a lot of time there, that makes you think Gavin Newsom is Gavin Newsom? Is it the mass amount of illegal immigration and tax dollars being spent for legal and healthcare? Is it the failure to rebuild homes in the Palisades? Is it just pro-trans ideology and pushing that on kids in schools? What stands out the most to you?
And I'm glad you asked that because I want to make it clear. I personally don't have an issue with the trans part of the LGBT at all. I am the biggest advocate for adults being able to do whatever the heck they want to do. They're adults. I don't care. I only mentioned something because when it comes to children, I wouldn't even allow my 17-year-old daughter to get breast implants. Neither, like, and most 99% of the parents would not let their 17-year-old child get breast implants. So if you wouldn't let a child get breast implants, you're not going to want them to have any kind of surgery, because we all know the brain is not developed. And we've heard about 19 times more likely to commit suicide. What more do you need to know? That a child is 19 times more likely to commit suicide if they have a surgery before they're an adult? So I just wanted to make that clear because, you know, of course, I don't judge, you know, adults with, you know, they can do whatever they want. With Newsom, it's the fact that.
What is some of the policies in California?
Okay, so that was Nikki, and she was basically saying that she doesn't have a problem with the trans community itself. It's only when they allow kids to be trans. Let me just say this. I agree with what she's saying about children not needing to go through no surgery, you know, to be trans. But let's be clear here. No one's having trans children. I've never met a trans child before. Never even heard of a trans child before. So why is that even a conversation? Why is that even a topic of discussion? Why are we even talking about this anyway? Like, why is that even a fucking talking point to begin with? There is nobody getting sex change surgeries at the age of 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11. They're not doing that. And they shouldn't do it. So why are we talking about this, Nikki? And let's just go ahead and just get down with this Maga Minaj motherfucker. Let's talk about it real quick. And I don't give a damn who feels any kind of way about it. Y'all people that follow behind this woman, y'all are crazy. That lady could tell y'all to jump off the Mississippi River Bridge and y'all bitches would do it. The fact that a lot of y'all are changing y'all parties to Republican just because this bitch is sitting up here with Trump is really killing me right now. This woman really got y'all brainwashed. I love Mary J. Blige to fucking death, but if she ever came out and said she was supporting Trump, that don't mean I'm going to sit up here and support Trump just because her ass doing it. The fuck? Are you for real? And another thing too about the situation is this right here, okay? If you, and this goes out to the Barbs, and I know there's probably some Barbs watching. And if you are a Barb that's watching, you're welcome to watch Scotty by Nature TV. And if you are a Barb watching and you hate on me right now because I'm finna say what the fuck I'm finna say, fuck you, suck my dick, eat my ass. I love it all. At the end of the day, let me just say this. Nikki been a trash ass person for a long time now. I've been saying it for a long time. And this is coming from a person that really, really liked her when she first came out. Now, I ain't gonna never consider myself no Barb because I never have. But when she first came out, when she first dropped her first album, Roma's Revenge, Pink Friday, all that shit, I used to love me some Nikki, all her features, all of that shit. Even though her music was trash by the second album, I still liked her then. Third album, her music was good again. But as a person, I just didn't like her. She been a trash ass person. But at the end of the motherfucking day, if she wants to support Trump, and if she wants to be a Republican, that is her very right to do so. And if y'all don't, and if y'all are part of the LGBTQ community and you know that she's rocking with motherfuckers who don't like y'all, it's really up to you guys if if you want to support her in her music. It's up to you guys. And if you want to sit there, if you want to bump, I wish that I could have this moment for life, then by all means do that. I ain't judging, because music is music. Whether it come from a disgusting person or not, music is music. So if you want to shake your ass to did it on them and all that other shit, go ahead and do that. But don't get mad at the next person because they no longer want to support Nicki because Nicki doesn't support the values that they have in their lives. Why the fuck are y'all mad because motherfuckers don't want to support her? If you support Nicki, support her. If her stance on LGBT issues and her stance on, Republican and Democratic parties and stuff like that, if you still want to support her and listen to her music despite that, do that. I promise you I'm not going to judge. And you want to know why I'm not going to judge? Because I righteously, sincerely don't give a fuck if you do or not. I don't care. But my thing is, don't get mad at the next bitch because they don't want to support the shit that she supports. Don't try to deflect and bring up other artists like they wasn't talked about when they supported Trump. Do you remember Chrisette Michele? Do y'all remember her? When she was supposed to perform for Trump at the inauguration and everybody canceled her ass? It was a couple of forevers before she decided to perform for Trump. Now it's no longer a couple of forevers anymore now that she performed for Trump. It's blame it on me. Say it's my fault. Say I'm a liar, cheater, say anything that you want. As long as it's all right. That's what she's saying now. Blame it on her. Say it's her fault that she wanted to perform for Trump. Blame it on her. Okay? Nicki is not the only motherfucker that has been talked about or bashed for supporting Trump. She's not the only one. Get the fuck over it. She's not the only one. However, if y'all want to continue to support that lady, do that. I'm not the motherfucker telling y'all need to stop. I'm the motherfucker that's saying, don't worry about what everybody else saying. If they don't want to support her, that's on them. If you ain't never supported her, what the fuck you mad for now? You just want a reason to drag. Because my thing is this: if you ain't never supported Nicki, why the fuck you talking? It shouldn't even matter to you. The only motherfuckers that should be mad about it is the motherfuckers that supported her ass. Because she don't like y'all, in my opinion. She don't care about y'all. Hell, she say some bullshit when the shit happened in Orlando at the gay club. She said some dumb shit then she come into the game pretending to be a bisexual woman. Get the fuck out of here. And let's be real, there's a lot of motherfucking celebrities out there that are Trump supporters. We see Nelly is a big one. We see that Ludacris is a big one. We see all of that shit. We see it all. And ain't nobody saying a goddamn word about it. So if she want to support Trump, let her. Because guess what? And we're going to talk about this person I'm finna bring up later on down the line. But do you think them R. Kelly fans give a fuck about him pissing on 14-year-old girls? They don't, because they still stepping in the name of love. Because they want to. Because they want to. And I think that R. Kelly is a disgusting human being. And I will still play I Can't Sleep. That's still one of my favorite R&B songs. Fortunate by Maxwell is one of my favorite songs of all time, and it was written by R. Kelly. So at the end of the day, you feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you gonna support whoever the fuck you want to support, but don't get mad at the next person because they no longer want to support them. That's just all I gotta say about that. Nicki is on a rampage, and every other week she talking about Jay-Z, and he keeps paying her ass dust, and she just don't know when to let bygones be bygones and let the shit be what it is. Moving on to the next one, we get into Keiarna Stewart, aka Kay. Okay, now Kay has come out and told the people that she's on some TLC shit, and what I mean by some TLC shit, she has filed for bankruptcy. Okay, she's filed for bankruptcy, honey. She says, transparency matters more than pretending. I'm a real housewife because I have a real life. So apparently she filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and the case was filed on March the 6th, 2023. So that was like roughly almost 2 years ago. And They say on the Neighborhood Talk, the Real Housewives of Potomac star addressed the resurfaced court documents head on, making it clear that she has nothing to hide. I'm aware that a personal financial moment from 2023 is being framed as gossip, and I want to address it directly because transparency matters to me more than pretending life. It's always polished. Let's be clear, bankruptcy is not a character flaw. It's a legal tool that many entrepreneurs use when they take real risk and build real businesses and sometimes have to rebuild. That is part of the business, and that is a part of life. I am the first Black woman to own a medical spa of its kind in Baltimore, and that didn't happen by playing it safe, okay? So it is what it is. I feel like she keeping it real. I feel like filing for bankruptcy really ain't nothing to be ashamed of, to be honest. I'm just saying. I do think that it's nothing to be ashamed of at this point. It's nothing to be ashamed of. For real. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Don't be ashamed of it. If you got to file a little bit of bankruptcy, file a little bit of bankruptcy. Sometimes people file bankruptcy as a means to save themselves. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And just like everybody said, Trump done filed for bankruptcy many times already. So, you know, do what you do, Keiarna. That's all I really got on that. I ain't really got much to say about no bankruptcy claims. So let's get into the next topic, which involves Candiace Dillard, Robin Dixon, Giselle, and Quad. Okay. So first we're going to get into Giselle and Robin discussing the Quad comments and stuff like that. And then we're going to get into Candiace and what she had to say about Robin and Giselle. So let's go ahead and get into the mess of it all. Let's get into it, y'all.
Clear up some things with the Married to Medicine ladies because they love to talk about housewives. I was on Watch What Happens Live with Quad.
Yes, a couple weeks ago. So this is our first time talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I think
since you recorded. Well, we talked about it on Patreon, but that was before the episode aired. So I didn't see it.
Okay.
And then this is our first time talking about it on Reasonably Shady. Since it aired.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, like, and I don't know if I said this on the Patreon, that when we had a commercial break, she asked Andy to ask her about BravoCon so that she could say what she wanted to say.
So she could tee it up.
Right. So she was obviously practicing and really wanted to get this off her chest.
Right.
And what she doesn't know is if you ask Giselle anything past 2 days ago, I don't remember. Okay.
Right.
Robin will remember.
Giselle. No, it'll take me a minute to remember. Because when you were like starting to tell me the story, I was like, huh? What is she talking about? Like, huh?
What is she talking about? Because we said over and over again, or at least I thought, we were talking about Atlanta. We were actually talking about K. Michelle, and K. Michelle addressed it, and we addressed K. Michelle.
Well, no. I talked about both Atlanta and Married to Medicine, but the problem is this. We talked about this situation in like August, maybe early September. It was late August or early September.
2025.
Right. So when she was there, and I could just tell, like from your reaction, you're like, you were so lost. You're like. Anyway, right. So
I was extremely confused. I didn't know what she was talking about.
And it was like, because because the question was about BravoCon. And so you're sitting there like thinking about BravoCon. Like, what did I do at BravoCon? Like, it didn't make, like, there was no connection there. So I think that kind of messed things up too. But go ahead.
Yes. So, but again, this is something she clearly wanted to get off her chest. And then they pulled a clip. What did I say in the clip that they pulled? Rinse and recycle or something?
So I guess, so Quad was saying like, you said we were I guess rinsing and recycling people or something.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, that was Robin or whatever. And then they pulled the clip.
Right.
And you said it, but the way you said it was in response to what I was saying. And you were like, you pose it more like a question, like, oh, so they're rinsing and recycling people?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let me just say this. First and foremost, I've been nothing but supportive of Married to Medicine. And don't know what the issue is, don't know what the beef is, don't care, actually. And I don't even really understand what is the issue.
Right. So, okay. So the issue this is what I want to, the issue I think is that people maybe did not listen to everything that we said. And if you're just watching clips with headlines that are posed in a negative manner, then that's what you're going to take away from it, right?
Totally.
So if I was there, I wish I was there so that I could kind of clear everything up. The first thing I would say to my soror quad is, and to Miss Jackie, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Simone, and Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Contessa, and Toya, I would say this to all of them. In my opinion, Married to Medicine has consistently been the best show on the network. That's my opinion. So whatever we said on Reasonably Shady about Married to Medicine was not a dig to the show at all. I think they have been consistently the best show. They have had the most consistent cast for, I don't know, how many years now? 12 maybe? So what I said was, I found it interesting. I think I said this is exactly what I said. I said, I think Atlanta is running out of people because the network is now doing something which in the past they were against doing when it came to casting, which was they are casting women from other networks. And I know, just, having insider information, I know that was something that they avoided doing. They did not want to hire people from VH1 if it wasn't in the NBC Universal family. So if it wasn't like E! Network or whatever, they weren't interested in hiring talent that were on other networks and other shows, such as Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives. So I said it kind of jokingly, oh my God, Atlanta must be running out of people because now the network is doing something that they traditionally have never done, right? That was not a knock to Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was not a knock to Married to Medicine. It was not a knock to K. Michelle. It was not a knock to Angel from Basketball Wives, who was on Married to Medicine. It was an observation. Okay, maybe it was worded in a shady manner, but it was not a knock to any of those shows or any of those women.
Wait a minute. And I said, so they renting and recycling.
Exactly.
That's what they doing.
Exactly. Right. But that still doesn't take away how great the shows are, right? So Soror Quad, if you were offended by what we said, if you think that we were trying to tear your show down or diminish your show or anything like that, that was not the case. And I apologize if that is how you perceived it. And I'm sorry that you felt the need to bring it to Watch What Happens Live. I would have been happy to explain it to you, but it is what it is. And hopefully you understand this now. And I'm going to put this clip on our Reasonably Shady page, Instagram page. We are going to tag Quad so we make sure that she sees this, because we know the other pages, the gossip pages, the I don't know, whatever the pages that talk all the gossip, the negative stuff, they're only going to show they probably won't show it because we're not saying anything mean, or they're just going to pick out the shady stuff. So,
let's say something mean so they'll show it.
Well,
I was just trying to make a moment, girl.
There you go.
Make a moment. You made your moment. Are you happy?
There you go. All right. And then when people say oh, she threw Robin under the bus, I don't feel that way, because I would have been there and be like, yeah, I said it. It was my topic, right? You were caught off guard and you're like, I don't know what you're saying. Robin said that. Talk to Robin. I'm fine. You're not throwing me under the bus at all.
No.
And the thing is wait
a minute. What I did know was this was not a subject I brought up, right?
Right. No.
Right. So I knew it was this is a Robin issue, not an issue. Right. This ain't me.
Right.
You talked about it.
Right. That was my topic. It was on in my notes on my phone. When I looked at my notes about what I want to talk about, that was what I wanted to talk about. Right. And that was when I brought it up. That was not your original thought.
No. Wasn't me.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm happy you did, because obviously everybody want to come back.
Right.
And guess what? Appreciate y'all coming to Reasonably Shady. We love the download.
Right.
First of all, look, y'all knew damn well what y'all was doing when y'all said it. The thing about it is y'all just wasn't expecting nobody to respond to what the fuck y'all said. Just own up to your shit. Own your shit. You were being shady. Own up to it. What else did y'all how else did y'all expect them to take what the fuck y'all said? I would have took it as shade too. I would have taken it as shade too. Are you dumb? But let's move on to the next part, because they like the gaslight and play in people's face. You ain't gonna play in mine. Let's continue.
Mary Cosby. Mary's my girl. She's so sweet, so funny. I was getting the tea. I was asking her about her documentary, talking about the documentary.
Go
ahead. Can I say one thing? I do want to clear something up. This is for all you bloggers. Nobody was fighting. Like, no, at the Ultimate Girls Trip in Atlanta, I saw reports that Candiace, Robin, and Giselle were fighting. No, we weren't.
And Ashley.
And Ashley, yeah. But I can only speak for myself, because, you know, I wasn't around y'all every waking second. I did not have a confrontation with Candiace. So please let that go.
I didn't even see it.
And you didn't either. You didn't have a confrontation either. So
yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Can I say one thing? I do want to clear something up. This is for all you bloggers.
Okay, so Candiace clapped back at them, and this is what Candiace had to say. So let's get into Candiace.
The light eye mafia, whatever we called them back then. The people.
The green-eyed bandits or something.
Yes,
Is that
that's what them.
I watch the show too much.
It's all right. No, it is. I those names, those are great monikers. I affectionately refer to them as far as the podcast, the Two Broke Girls podcast. So it was brought to my attention on this evening that the Two Broke Girls podcast had my little name in their mouths.
I thought they didn't call your name anymore.
They did not. So in a previous episode, they mentioned me in reference to Traders, and it's just
Girl, you killing it on Traders. Nobody can deny that. You have made me watch every Thursday. I'm oh my God, it's so good. I don't like Rob. That's all I'm gonna say. Anybody who wears a snake on their body, that tells you right there.
Alert.
If they show you who they are, believe them. He shows you.
Yes. And speaking, yes, and the girls of Brokery have showed me who they are time and time again.
I like the girls of Brokery, and I like you too. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they, in a previous episode of their podcast, they had mentioned me in reference to Traders, and just could not bring themselves to mention my fabulous, beautiful name that my mother gave me. And for whatever reason,
you were mentioned because you are fabulous on the show.
Well, thank you. Yes. So they brought me up. What was the reference? They brought me up in reference to, no, it wasn't even Traders. They brought me up in reference to Ultimate Girls Trip. There were rumors swirling that I had gotten into a verbal melee with the girls of Brokery and allegedly Ashley.
Giselle and Robin, let's call them.
The girls of Brokery, that is who they are. And
you're Candiace, and they're Giselle and Robin. Go ahead.
I'm Candiace. They are...
Girl, shut up and let Candiace talk down.
Brokery Nation.
Giselle and Robin, go ahead.
They are Brokiana 1 and Brokiana 2.
Okay.
And... Lord forgive me. And so those were the rumors. Those were the rumors. And they wanted to clear up, allegedly, that there was no argument between myself and them, which
I hope not.
Robin did actually say Candiace's name, which is progress. Robin denied the rumor.
Yes.
And Giselle, I think she just said, I didn't see her, which I doubt Candiace saw her either, even though we all saw them in a picture together. They did not see each other. But
you know, when the picture was
Robin
taken,
actually made progress by saying her name. Yes.
They were on that end. I don't know what's happening outside my purview. Like, I'm not looking, beyond the river bend where darkness lies. I don't look over there. So I didn't see what was happening over yonder. I was just in the photo. I was just happy to be in the room. You know, me and my my wig. Shout out to Bob the drag queen and his team who helped me put my wig and sash together for the event. I was just there to enjoy and be enjoyed and be around people who wanted to enjoy me. So I wasn't even looking at them. So when people are like, "Oh, the picture and me, it's hope and da 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 da," I mean, maybe
Yeah, I knew
maybe
better
on
than
God's.
that.
I have hope that there's healing there too. I have
Yeah,
hope that there's
I,
healing there too. I do.
maybe Karen can tag in. You know what? I think maybe at least one of them with Jesus and some Karen and Tom. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know about the other one.
There's a
Yeah, I
you
got a
know
lot of
what?
other
We need
miracles
to
to work
put
on.
Potomac. We need to put
I really feel like Candiace didn't really respond like she could have because that lady kept interrupting her. But she didn't. Candiace, to me, really didn't deny whether or not there was like an altercation between her and Robin and Giselle and Ashley. Like, in my opinion, she really didn't like deny anything or clear nothing up. That's pretty much what Robin was doing. So we still really don't know if anything happened or not. And that's just that. So fuck it. But anyway, moving on, we're going to go to the last topic of tonight. Excuse me. And because I'm on a time crunch because Chasing is coming on and then I got to do the Chasing panel. Let's get into Reshona Landfair. Now, if you don't know who Reshona Landfair is, then you don't be living under a rock. But Reshona Landfair is the 14-year-old girl who is in the video with R. Kelly in 2002 that got pissed on and became a pop culture, joke at the age of 14. You do know that her auntie was Sparkle. 2 years ago, promises was all I heard. Wait a minute, let me finish. Okay. And she's the one who came out and said that was her niece. And, Sparkle got a whole lot of blowback. She was blacklisted. She was canceled. Nobody wanted to fuck with Sparkle after she came out and said that was her niece. And for many, many years, Reshona did not come out and say anything about what happened to her. But she did take the stand in 2022, I think, as Jane Doe. She didn't want her name to be used. But now Reshona is out. And she's ready to claim her name again. Reshona has a new book out called Who is Shorty? Damn, what's the name of that book? Because I got the damn book, child. I got the book. Hell, I got it on Audible. I just want to say the name of the book right. I just want to be a little bit, polished just a tad bit. You feel what I'm saying? So let me make sure. Let me make sure that I say the name of the book right, child. Reshona Landfair, her book is called Who's Watching Shorty. That is the name of the book. The name of the book is Who's Watching Shorty. It's really, really good. I promise you it is. That book is so good. Do you hear me? It is good. I will not lie to you. Like I said, I got the book on audio. I got the Audible. So it's a damn good book, honey. It is a good ass book. And I've been thinking about like playing the Audible on live so y'all can hear the book if y'all ain't read it, and we could do commentary as we read the book and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys want me to do it or not, but I'm gonna put a poll up and see. But I'm trying to figure out when I want to do it because I know that we celebrated my birthday this weekend and I really ain't gonna have much time to do mini videos, and I know I got to do a lot of pre-records so I can have something to drop over the weekend. But however, I might just put a poll up and see if y'all want me to do it. But I really want to do that with y'all because we get into different types of content this year, child. But she did an interview with CBS Morning, and she shared her story with the sex crimes and things like that. And of course, what's her name? Sparkle responded to some of the things that Reshona actually said about her on the news report and in the book. So I got the extended version of the interview here, and we're going to play that and, do commentary as we go along. And after we get done with the interview, of course, we're going to go into what Sparkle had to say. So let's go ahead and get into Reshona.
Time that has passed based on how long you knew R. Kelly. I think so many people have wanted to hear from you for so long. How does it feel to not be Jane Doe anymore?
It feels very rewarding. It feels very liberating, um, which was a part of the reason why I wanted to write this book, because I really wanted to live in my true skin, in my true self.
And your true self today is what?
My true self today is Reshona Landfair, not Jane Doe, not Sean. It's who I am as a person, who I am as a mother, a friend, a daughter, a colleague, etc.
You dedicate this book to your dad, your son, and you say your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would you say this book is for?
This book is for every person who has gone through some sort of trauma or some sort of uncomfortable moment in their life where they blamed themselves, were ashamed or embarrassed to live in their true skin, and just really took the faults of other people and, kind of hid behind that. So it was just really freeing for me, and I wanted to share my experience with people who have been in similar situations.
You obviously talk in this book about how it started. You don't start at the moment people start talking about you or knowing anything about who you are and who you're associated with. But you describe at length how it started. You mention your aunt, the artist Sparkle, who used to work with R. Kelly. I want to read some of it from, I think it was page 18. You say in the book, the next time we're at the studio, this is what you say Sparkle said. You say your aunt told you the next time we're at the studio, you should ask Robert to be your godfather. Aunt Sparkle explained that I should sit on his lap and rub his head while I asked him to be my godfather. This instruction seemed sort of weird since I hadn't sat on his lap before, but I didn't question it. When you think back, is that where it all begins? Is that the start?
That is the start. That is the start of him entering into my life in a different way than just being an artist or hanging out at the studio. It became more personable at that moment.
Because you yourself were an artist. You were.
Now, for many, many years, I have defended Sparkle. I defended Sparkle for so many years, right? And I never understood why everybody gave Sparkle so much heat when she was the one who testified first. She was the one who tried to do something about it. She was the one who called Child Protective Services. So when I hear her say that Sparkle told her to do this and Sparkle told her to do that, it make me feel some kind of way, because it's like, Sparkle, did you really tell her to do that? Like, you are surviving R. Kelly, crying about this shit, and it came across like you were really devastated that this happened, but your niece is saying that you were the one who said, sit on his lap, rub on his bald head, ask him to be his godfather, ask him to be a godfather. So it's like, it's two questions that I have. Did you really tell your niece that and set her up to be groomed that way? Or is your niece practically throwing your ass under the bus and just letting her parents off the hook, who is equally responsible for allowing this? But let's continue.
You were a part of a rap group. You had toured Europe. You'd been to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was your aunt, you said, that introduced the family to R. Kelly, because he's this successful artist from Chicago. At this time, he's really starting to blow up. He left the group that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting, exhilarating, fun to be around him. Is kind of how you describe it in the beginning. I mean, this is a big superstar, and you have access to him like, hey, I want to hang out in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, in the beginning, he's treating you like a normal, excited kid that wants to learn more about the business.
Correct.
So when do things turn? And I know you go into great detail,
Mm-hmm.
the early stages and why this is so complicated, your mindset
Mm-hmm.
at that time.
Well, during the time that I met him, I'm also a teenage girl who's going through puberty. And so some of the things that I was thinking or feeling were just normal expressions to, my maturity level at the time. And so it starts very innocent. It starts,
being mesmerized and, like you said, like admiring this person. And then, it kind of gets a little deeper or more complicated when that person is able to, see what you can't see, the way you're developing, your conversation, your personality traits. So it kind of became more complicated when he started analyzing me and, the things that I was going through and who I was becoming as a person. And again, I was excited and mesmerized to, be under his wing and to be a part of his habitat. So that's how things kind of unfolded.
So we know that things progress beyond looking out for you as almost like a goddaughter, and it turns into something more than that. I want to go and stay with your aunt Sparkle, who I've interviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first person to really sort of say, you need to go check over there. Something's not right.
Right.
I think there's something going on that should not be going on.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, you describe social services coming to your home to do a welfare check.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents are shocked. They think perhaps maybe she's just jealous because she's no longer associated with R. Kelly. And then obviously 2001, 2002, we're talking about the tape. But why don't you think anyone believed your Aunt Sparkle when she first raised a red flag about a possible inappropriate relationship?
I don't think they believed her because there were no obvious signs of what was actually taking place. It was more coming from her end, maybe looking like a motive from, like you said, not being around him. And those kind of questions or concerns didn't happen until she was no longer a part of, his camp or the things that were taking place, her as an artist. That's when those questions started to raise.
Chapter 7, you call it stress fractures. And you say it was a couple of weeks before your 17th birthday. You say, Robert told me the copies of one of the sex tapes of 14-year-old me were beginning to be sold on the streets of Chicago and across the country. Your reaction to that when you think about hearing those words from R. Kelly, that this tape is out there and you were 14 years old?
I was empty. I was very hollow inside. I was very confused. Didn't know what to expect. And I was embarrassed.
I want to read part of that in terms of just sort of what you were feeling at that time, because at some point, the remedy for this, according to, you refer to him as Robert in the book, is that he wants to tell your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Robert told me how he would tell my parents the truth
Mm-hmm.
about us. My mom and I were in one room and my dad and Robert were in another. You go on to say some other things, but eventually you get to this part. After a while, Dad came storming out of the room, crying hysterically and cursing, saying to R. Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
You're sick. I can't rock with you. I can't help you. You need to get help. He yelled at Robert, who followed us into the elevator and was on his knees crying. Man, I'm sorry. I just love her. So the turning point from innocent goddaughter running around just trying to learn the music industry to something more like you're trying to make sense of why he's calling you and saying, what are you wearing? This type of thing. To now you're confronted with something that's out there and he's saying the solution is just tell them. I know it looks crazy, but I believe you're my angel, as you refer to in the book. And your dad initially is upset. He's crying. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Why wasn't that the moment when you look back where you were not allowed to see R. Kelly anymore, be around him? Take us to why it was so complicated for you and your family and what you said to your parents.
It was very complicated. My dad wanted to make the right decision and he was not okay with anything that took place. I was more under Robert's brainwash. I was more under his spell, and he utilized me against my parents, making threats of suicide and doing different things out of desperation to convince them to not turn on him. And because I had been groomed for so long to carry out this mission and also not want that girl on the videotape to be myself, I thought in my little mind that maybe that was the best approach. We felt more protected and had more resources and help through him than taking matters into our own hands with this celebrity and the industry and not wanting to be the people to end R. Kelly and deal with hatred and many things. So, I mean, I'm not here to sugarcoat any shortcomings of my parents or myself, but at the time, that's what made us feel the safest.
You felt as though R. Kelly was holding all of the cards, had all of the power.
He did.
How did you make peace with your parents later? Because that's also something, I mean, even at the beginning of this interview, speaking of dedicating the book to him, and my condolences, because I know he passed away in 2021. But how were you able at this age to make peace with everything that's happened and your parents' involvement?
When you become a parent, you have a different way of thinking. But I also look at the other women and the other survivors and the other, people who, he dealt with, who lost total communication with their parents and their families and literally lived everything that he made them think or everything that they made him feel.
Yeah.
So, in a sense of why it might be presented to look a certain way, my parents actually saved me. They're the reason why I'm sitting here today. Because if it had not been for them, if I lost complete communication with them and I was literally living his dreams, his brain, his way of thinking, I don't know where I would be. Mentally, physically, or emotionally.
When the trial started and the questions from federal investigators are coming, when you look back again, so much of this is people being able to try and understand it through your lens. You're living it. You're the only one with this story. Why not tell the truth in 2002 or 2008 when there was finally a trial after 6 years?
That's one of my biggest regrets, not telling the truth. But again, when I have been trained and groomed since I was age 13, I started believing the lies that I was telling. It was very foggy and unclear on what I really felt versus what was right or what was wrong. And even in moments where I despised Robert, I still lied for him.
When I look back at that trial, even this idea that people who were not part of the jury were able to see some of that video. And the jokes that came from the video, because we're talking about seeing a person at the time, not knowing who it is, for sure, being urinated on and talked about. Do you look at even the justice system as not protecting you to some extent? I mean, thinking about that video being played before a gallery of everyday citizens?
I definitely think things could have been handled differently. I'm happy I wasn't there to witness everyone watching that. Um, to the world imagery, I was not made to be a victim. I was a mockery. And that was very difficult to digest. It was very disheartening to know that my body was just being displayed and tossed around. And, when I look back on it, I wish things could have been done differently, but those are all of the things that I had to internalize.
How were you able to sit through the trial in the parking lot? Because I think to know that you were so close to the trial that could have put R. Kelly away back then and listen to his instruction. Don't watch television. Don't read the paper. I mean, this wasn't the same, you know, social media wasn't a thing in 2008 the way that it is now. But take us back to, and I know you're going to get a lot of these types of questions because most of this book is based on the past and how you've been able to come out of it. But take us back to what it was like being in a van and knowing that just a few hundred feet away, his life was on the line.
That was very scary. I didn't understand why he wanted me there, why he made those choices, but I just went with the program. It was very difficult because I would also be paranoid. Like, what if somebody raids the bus, or what if, you know, the wrong person walks on here? But I don't know if he did it for comfort, of not wanting, you know, of being afraid of me just having the freedom to just walk out if I wanted to.
Right.
But he kept me very close in that way.
What was your reaction to that 2008 not guilty verdict? You talk about it in the book, but tell us how you were really feeling at that time.
I felt happy for him. I didn't want to see his career end. I didn't want to see him taken from his family. I thought things were going to change for him, for us. I thought things would just get a lot better. I thought this was our freedom to just be family and to, you know, all of the different traumas and me having to hide and disguise myself and be lonely and away from my family. I thought that was closure to all of the negative things that he kind of made me feel like had to happen during this case that lasted for so many years.
And at this point too, you're in your 20s.
Right.
So you're thinking, yeah, this stuff happened, but you know, this is our chance to reset.
Right.
But what actually happened?
Things got worse. And then I started realizing that I had been used and utilized for a purpose, that I was a placeholder, that I was here to make sure Robert didn't go to jail, not because he loved me, not because he was my protector or because I was his angel. My purpose was done. He was finished.
And you talk about moving out and starting your own, going on vacation, really getting a taste of what it is to be independent. But even though you left R. Kelly, you left the home, you never quite left his orbit. Explain.
That was definitely me operating out of cognitive dissonance. It was more so like I knew things were wrong. I knew everything that I went through, but this is all I've known for the majority of my life. This is the behavior that was my normal and that I felt like was okay. So I was kind of afraid to operate outside of him. I didn't know what to do. I had to literally learn myself from a 12-year-old girl up into who I was to today.
Yeah. And that was hard to
It was very
completely let
difficult.
go. January 3rd, 2019, Surviving R. Kelly airs. Did you see all six? It's a 6-part series. Did you see all of it?
I
or
don't
just some
I
of
don't
it?
know if I saw all of it, but I saw enough.
And you thought then?
That was the spirit of conviction came over me during that moment.
Because of that documentary, that docuseries.
Yes.
And when you say the spirit of conviction, what do you mean by that?
Somehow I felt responsible that he was able to hurt so many more people. During the time, I thought maybe these were just sexual fetishes that he had with me. Maybe this was just abuse I was going through. But when I saw that his behavior had gotten so much worse, and he was allowed to hurt so many people because I lied, that did not sit well with me as an adult, as a woman.
Is that the moment you decided you were going to cooperate with federal investigators?
Yes. It was in that moment. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It was a breaking point for me, for sure.
I really want people to understand your perspective about how difficult this was and the psychological factor, because you put it out there in the book because you want people to understand it. It's almost like you're talking to the reader at times when you say, now listen, I know you might think this, or even the way you've protected folks in the book. You don't really go in about things you clearly know. It's almost like you are saying, I want to stick to my story and I don't want to make judgment on other people for their decisions.
That is right.
But you talk about this conflict of a back and forth, even with the text messages that the defense showed in court to say, well, wait a minute. They were texting like, hey, how's it going? Are you good? I'll call my mom. She recently lost her mom. And, they're trying to create this image that you're fine. For people that don't understand what that's like to be you and in that position, help folks understand this, you say the cognitive dissonance, but also this back and forth dance of trying to tell yourself, I'm good, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's why we're cool. Almost like you almost have to have that power too to say,
To
you don't
convince
have power
myself.
over me because see, look, we're good. You can text me and I'll text you back.
That is very true. And what I will say about that is not everything about Robert was terrible, even though it was that way most of the time. Not everything about him. This was a person that I did feel like I loved and I grew into loving. And he was family in some areas. Not everything about him was terrible. The moments were, though, very frequently. But it was just a battle of me convincing myself, like, I made it out. I'm good now. I can be cool with him. I can see him with other women. I tried to maintain whatever friendship. I still loved his children. And, honestly, I cared about his well being, even outside of just, like everything that was happening. So it was a battle internally for me to fully, let go of somebody that I had been groomed into fully being dependent upon.
In March of that same year, so shortly after the R. Kelly docuseries comes out on Lifetime, Gayle King sat down with him and the two women that he was in a relationship with at the time. Did you happen to see that?
I did.
When you saw him react in the way that he did about this, you're trying to take my life. And, I thought about playing that for you, but I don't even want you to have to see him because I think it's not necessary. But when you saw that version of him, as you talk about, it wasn't like this all the time. But did you feel for him or did you think he's going down and he's scared?
Well, first I thought it was very Broadway of him to act like that. That was very normal for him to have that type of response. And when I heard those girls speak, I knew exactly who was talking through them. I knew exactly what mission they had, the convincing, the firmness, everything that I had been trained and groomed to do. I read right in between that. And in that moment, I did not feel sorry for him at all. I felt like you still don't get it. You're still convincing yourself of all the lies that you are, bleeding into everyone else. And I knew exactly what took place was getting ready to happen. And he was very scared. He knew it too.
As you sit here today, do you feel like you are completely healed?
No, I'm a work in progress. I have a long road ahead of me, but I can look back and I know exactly where I come from and I can see the stars now.
I wanted you to, if you would, read something that I think would be best if we heard it from you. And this is the grace note. I highlighted this section because, I'm not going to make you read all 3 or 4 pages.
Okay.
But I think it would be important to hear this in your own words.
Yes, that's fine.
And the last part.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dear beautiful soul, it's you. It's always been you. You were the girl with saucers for eyes. and the world was a buffet spread out in front of you. You were the girl who spit rhymes and played basketball with all you had. You loved your parents and especially your baby brother. You loved going to church. You were a friend. Reshona Landfair. Don't believe yourself not to be good enough. There is no yardstick for good enough. You were a girl, perfectly imperfect human being. You could not have lived your life in reverse. There was no way for you to know what you know now. So if you don't remember anything else, remember that children don't protect themselves from danger. Let go and let God. No one else holds power over your mind, body, or spirit. It's taken a while for you to arrive at the sure footing of this knowledge, but it's a good place to be. This is your moment. It's good to be you. God willing, you have more living and loving and growing to do. Go live in your truth and walk in your light. Embrace this next chapter in your journey with anticipation that God will plant new dreams in the fertile soul of your heart. Love you times infinity, Reshona.
How proud are you of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself. I've come a long way. A lot of cold nights, but I'm here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what she said there at the end is, but I am here today. And that is really at the core of her book. She's now a mother of a 5-year-old son. We did reach out to her aunt Sparkle, who said she is relieved that Reshona is in her healing journey. Sparkle also said this: any suggestion that I groomed, facilitated, or enabled harm to my niece is untrue and deeply painful. As for R. Kelly, who is currently serving sentences for 2 federal convictions, an attorney representing him told us they could not comment on specific allegations in the book without reading it. The attorney added that Kelly wishes Reshona success and peace at all levels.
Oop, wrong one. Okay, so now that we've gotten through this entire interview with Reshona, let's go and get into Sparkle's response to everything that was stated. Now, this is what Sparkle said. Now, Sparkle spoke out and she wanted to clear the air regarding her niece, who publicly identified herself as the 14-year-old who was featured in the sex tape with R. Kelly. She says, I am relieved that Reshona is finally free to speak her truth and begin with her healing journey. In addition to justice, I have always wanted healing and peace for her. But I do need to be clear about one thing. Any suggestion that I groomed, facilitated, or enabled harm to my niece is untrue and deeply painful, especially given my documented actions at the time and throughout. When I was informed that her parents were allowing Reshona to spend unchaperoned time with R. Kelly, I immediately called DCFS. When the tape surfaced and the state brought charges against him in 2008, I cooperated fully and testified under oath despite immense pressure not to do so. I did this because protecting my niece from abuse and telling the truth mattered more to me than money and my career. This is the beginning of Reshona's lengthy deprogramming journey. It is true that she is a survivor of years of abuse and still learning to process what happened to her and who is responsible. It is also true and well documented that I stood up for her to try and stop the damage being done to her and countless others. I wish her continued healing and peace as she continues to not only find her voice, but hopefully require accountability from those closest to her. Someone else said in the comments, not only was she SA'd, but was manipulated to believe that her aunt was the enemy. But those who watched it all unfold knows that you stood tall for that girl. Respect. Okay? So that is what Sparkle had to say. Now, y'all know this is my last story of the night, so let me go ahead and say what I got to say. Now, I I listened to Reshona's book. Like I said, it was a 7-hour audio book. I listened to the entire thing at work, and it was a great listen. No lies, which makes me want to play it on my live with you guys so you guys can hear it. It was a great book, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things. But the sparkle thing is where I'm having the challenge with, right? Because when she said that Sparkle was the one who said, "Oh, girl, go sit in his lap, rub his bald head, and ask him to be your godfather." And then I think about all the times that Sparkle spoke about the situation. And I think about how emotional she was when she did Surviving R. Kelly. And I think about in 2002 when she came out and told the public that that was her niece that was on that tape, and how everybody flipped the script on Sparkle and pretty much counseled her. Sparkle no longer had a career. Nobody wanted to work with Sparkle. Sparkle was just out of the industry altogether. And I feel like Sparkle gave up her career and gave up her livelihood to try to protect her niece, whereas her father continued to work under R. Kelly after all them years and knowing what he did to his daughter, and even had his daughter sit on the damn stand and say that it wasn't her, so R. Kelly can go free. And even after that trial was over, he continued to play bass guitar on all of R. Kelly's albums all the way up until the time that R. Kelly went to jail. So while I feel like she's being very truthful when it comes down to Sparkle, I think she puts a lot of energy on Sparkle and not too much on her parents, because they were the ones that continued to be around R. Kelly. Sparkle was the one that gave up her entire life for you. Now, I know that Sparkle already said what she had to say in that post, but y'all know I'm on the interview circuit right now, so don't make me go out and ask Sparkle for an interview so she can come over here to Scotty by Nature TV and tell her side of the story. I'm just saying. And I just might do it. But I don't know, I'm not mad at Reshona for writing the book and telling her story, because for years other people have told her story. Everybody has said what they wanted to say about her. Everybody then spoke the truth for her and every damn thing else. So it's her chance to tell her own story. But there are other stories that I have always wanted to hear. Like, I know we already heard Tiffany Hawkins' story. She told her story. She was the first girl that R. Kelly did this shit with. And I know she told her story on Surviving R. Kelly, but there was more things that I wanted to know. We know that Javante Cunningham, who's also Sparkle's best friend, we do know that that she finally told what happened to her. So I don't know. It's a lot of blame to really go around in this situation. I mean, I don't know, but that's really all that I got for this. I'm still going to do that poll. I know a couple of y'all are still saying, yeah, let's do a read along of this book and you give commentary on the book as it goes along. And like I said to you guys, my birthday is next Thursday. We're celebrating my birthday here we're celebrating my birthday here in Atlanta this weekend. And I might be going to Mississippi, me and Bando, next weekend, supposedly. So I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna do it. It's probably gonna be after this weekend when I start, doing this book and stuff like that. So we'll see what's going on with that. But anyway, with that being said, y'all, that's pretty much all that I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I told you guys it was a supersized live. We was gonna be on here for almost 2 hours. I'm done in time for Chasing Atlanta. Once again, big shout outs and condolences to Jeremy. Jamar literally just left and went to the airport not too long ago because he is flying out to Las Vegas to be there for Jeremy as he buries his mom. So all condolences to Jeremy Speaks TV. So let's go ahead and get ready to get on up out of here now. Be sure to pick up my book, That's Why You're Lonely, is now available on Amazon and Kindle books. So make sure you guys go and pick it up. And The Scene ATL returns next Thursday on the Stylish TV network. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out of here. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
That 20, yeah, you always been a sneaky bitch, hating from the sidelines, trying to get picked, yeah. You don't found one, yeah, you don't found one. You don't found one, found you a real one. On my assets lately, you catching face shots, fire catching babies. Heavy on the highs, better get you some gravy. Cut that lady check, why you out here being lazy? I got bored with that season, I'm talking shit when I'm spitting. Fact, the bitch, I'm the reason. When it got you hoes heated. Snow got them hoes sneezing, got the meals you not eating. Where had them hoes leaking, God trust when I'm speaking. It's give.
Big bands gon' make it hot. Real niggas gonna come up. Don't let the game gon' change us. Real niggas in my circle, ho. Don't ever play us. This the real hustle. We make the money, don't make it make us. They ain't bout shit. Talking out they neck. Bitch, we bring the heat every time we step. You fucking with a beast. Fucking with the best. Get money on the east. Plug on the west. Bitch, I'm from the north, but we run this out. Bitch, we outside. What you talking about? Who the fuck is me? No, who the fuck is you?